Right, earlier we told you that ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa and the Progressive Business Forum Chair in Gwen Ramokgopa are teeing off at the annual January 8 Presidential Golf Day. It's taking place in Sun City, where it seems the president is engaging reporters. Let's listen in.
They are paying for playing golf with the president. And so I would have loved to play all day, but my controllers say I can only be here for 1 hour.
Have you been practicing, Mr. President? We saw your swing in Cape Town wasn't the best. Have you practiced this time out?
No, please, I don't be insulting early in the morning. Yes, no. Of course, my swing can never be the best because of the work that I do. I would have loved to play more golf, but I can't because you, as journalists and South Africans, won't give me the time to do so.
How many birdies are you targeting?
Today, 5.
Thank you.
Yes.
So is this the opportunity now
Yes.
to ask on matters of national interest? Mr.
Indeed,
President?
indeed,
The appointment
yes.
of Advocate Andy Motsebi. Just your reaction on this?
Well, we have appointed, or I have appointed, one of the really outstanding legal minds in our country, who has distinguished himself both in the prosecutorial area as a prosecutor in the past. So he has earned a lot of stripes as a prosecutor. Then he became a magistrate. So on the judiciary, he has practiced on the bench, and in management. He has worked both in the private sector as well as in some of our public institutions like SARS. And he has truly distinguished himself as one of the most outstanding people that I could ever have appointed. And he has worked very well, even during the G20 process, with a number of people from various countries. And many of them have really heaped a lot of praise on him, his manner of dealing with people, and his courage. And we've seen how he has distinguished himself as the head of the Special Investigating Unit. The SIU is one of those institutions that really has given us a lot of pride, because the successes that they have reached are largely due to the way he has managed the processes of investigating crime and corruption. So I'm confident that he will do well.
A bit of concern, Mr. President, around the manner that he has been appointed. Some saying that then this puts to question why we had that transparent process of interviewing a lot of people. Your thoughts around this?
Well, I instituted this process of having a very transparent and open manner in which a public official like the head of the NPA should be appointed. The last time when Shamila Batohi was appointed, I opened up a process which many people welcomed. It's not in the law. The law says the president can appoint whomever he wants. But I felt that because of the importance of the position, we should open it up so that the public can see and have an insight in the type of person that we want in that position. So the second time round, to replace Shamila Batohi, who is retiring, I did the same thing. And there were 18 or so applications. And the advisory panel informs me that none of those that were shortlisted really could be appointed as the head of the NPA. So in the end, because of the shortness of the time, I then relied on what the Constitution empowers me as president to do. And it is for that reason that I decided to appoint Motsebi. Now, I've appointed a known figure, a person who is in the criminal justice system, who has distinguished himself and who has demonstrated his ability. And I'm hoping that everybody will accept this for what it is. And of course, in future, we would want even the law or the Constitution to allow a more open process. We don't have it now, and it was instituted at my volition. And when it didn't yield the results that I expected, I had to rely on what the Constitution empowers me to do.
Are you satisfied with the tenure of Ms. Batohi, Mr. President?
Pardon?
Are you satisfied with the tenure of Ms. Batohi?
Yes, Shamila Batohi came in at a time when the NPA was in serious need of transformation, and she has done really excellently in transforming and repositioning the NPA. And of course, we all have come in our offices at a very difficult time, post-state capture, during a time of, for instance, COVID, when a lot of corruption happened. And to address all those things has been challenging. And so I don't believe that one should be overly criticized for having made the effort. She made a great effort. And I think those who are criticizing her are really unfair. Yes.
Okay.
Your for the last
to mounting
question.
calls, President, for the government to act against individuals and entities that are going to the U.S. lobbying that administration to take adverse action against South Africa, including abducting you, as we have seen some of them. Just your reaction, because the argument is that there's existing laws that the government can use to prosecute such individuals.
Yes, of course. I mean, we continue to examine all matters very carefully and with due diligence and due process. So you will realize that we are not sort of a type of government that acts outside due process. So we act in terms of what the law prescribes and what due process requires and equity. So all those matters will always be addressed. Thank you very much.
I think it would be unfair not to ask you in the Northwest as
can I
well, the
ask you,
issues
brother?
of not having jobs,
Thank you, last
the
question.
illegal mining
Last
in
question.
this
That is the last question.
province. I mean, we
Hold
should.
on, I would-
Just
Please,
this last
no,
question.
no,
Yes.
We will address all those issues
Please follow the
after
president.
the January 8th statement has been delivered.
will also
So
be doing public work
Yeah.
around here. Please, you are
I
welcome to
know
ask
you
him
want
more.
to spend more time
Yes.
with me, and I also want to, but I also want to ask you a lot of questions.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
But thank you.
Is the ANC?
I mean, it should have been.
ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa here at Sun City ahead of the presidential golf day, as he was fielding questions there from journalists with regard to various issues, one of them being the appointment of Advocate Andy Mothibi as the head of NPA, the National Head of Public Prosecutions, as we have seen, as we have heard, we've seen that statement from the presidency yesterday confirming that Advocate Andy Mothibi will now take over as NPA head as Shamila Batohi's tenure comes to an end at the end of this month. And also responding to why would he choose someone who was not interviewed by that panel that was led by Ramokgopa, who is the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development, saying that he was advised by the panel that from those candidates that were interviewed, which include the former head of NPA, Advocate Menzisi Melane, as well as head of IDEC, Andrea Johnson, that no one was qualifying from them to take over the position of NPA head, and also saying that but he thinks that Shamila Batohi has done a great work as the head of the NPA over the past 7 years. The president of the ANC and the president of the country responding to those issues. I think that's one of our top stories for this day, for today, the appointment of Advocate Andy Mothibi as the head of, as the head of the NPA there, and also President saying that he has the capacity, taking into consideration the work that he has done at the Special Investigative Unit, SIU, as well as previously he was the prosecutor and also a magistrate, saying that he has a vast of experience to, head the NPA at this point in time. And also going back to today's activity of, Presidential Golf Day, saying that this is a fundraising event. He would have loved to spend the whole day here playing golf, but he was advised that he'll have to take just have to spend just a few minutes here before he continues with his activities, with the activities for the day, as we are expecting him at Seralem village, one of the villages here in Rustenburg, where he will do an activation, and later on he will engage with other stakeholders. And we are also expecting him to visit Kgosi Moruo Molotlehi. That's one of the activities that he'll embark upon this afternoon, or let me say today. And that's what we have for you here at this point in time, when we're expecting the president on this presidential golf day, which is part of the ANC's annual anniversary celebration in the build-up to the main event on Saturday at Murulen Stadium here in the Northwest Province.
All right, Thabiso Moss is live to us there from Sun City in the Northwest. He's at the Gary Player Golf Course. That's where, of course, that January 8th Presidential Golf Day is currently underway. For now, Thabiso, thanks very much indeed.